Hey, what's up guys? It's Phil, and this is 3D Japan, and I'm looking at this box here, which turns out to be a very tiny 3D printer from Entina. Thank you to them for sending it. This is the Tina2S. Let's open it up, get it out, we'll run the intro, see what's inside. Alright, it's the next day and I got everything out of the box. I'm so excited to play with this. It was very well packed. Look how cute and tiny it is. And it's very attractive looking, nice white and green. But okay, let's see what everything in the box was. As far as assembly, there was this little piece of plastic that was around the lead screw coupler. Just had to take that off. There was two pieces of tape inside wrapped around. I had to take them off. And then this tube came out and went into the extruder. And that was the entire setup. So, what else we have in the box? We have a mini spool, which is interesting because there's a spool holder on the side here that will just about fit this little spool. It will not fit a big size spool. We'll see what we can do with that. Okay, we have power cords. We got something I've never seen with a printer before. We got free sample prints. We've got a phone stand. And yep, it says Entina 3D. We've got a bookmark and a little keychain. That's really cute. And then when our accessories bag, let's see what we've got here. We got a tube of glue stick. We have a little baggie with some tools and an extra nozzle. This bag has a little needle for cleaning the nozzle if it gets clogged. And we have a micro SD card. I believe that has the manual, some videos, or at least a video, and some sample models. Sample pre-sliced models ready to go. We have a USB micro SD card reader. It's always handy. And then we have, looks to be a USB 3 to USB Type-C adapter. And that's it. So I wanted to show you, this is the build plate. The work area for this printer is 100 by 100 by 105, if I'm not mistaken. So here's a regular size build plate for one of these two printers over here. This one takes up about a quarter of the space. So it is tiny, but you can pop that in there. And it is magnetic. It's easier when you can see what you're doing. But, there's another interesting thing, is the power cord actually has the power switch on the cord. I've never seen that with a printer done before. But yeah, so let's get it turned on. Maybe I'll start with the models that are on that SD card and see what it does. Okay, we got this turned on, and it seems to be homing. All right, now you can't see the screen here, but I'm going to try and find something to print. First we have to set it up English. Step 1, load filament. Okay, I already did that. Heating nozzle, please wait. Okay, just about done. It's not too fast, but it didn't take too long either. Pretty average. Okay, Insert filament, already done that. Filament purge. Oh, there it goes, it's coming out. Okay, it is purging quite a bit. Still says to wait. Oh, it finally stopped. That is a lot to purge. Okay, continue. There was actually a purge more option. Okay, insert the TF card or micro SD card. I've already done that. Let's print from TF. Okay, we have ship, rabbit, pterosaur, hand, frog, fishbone, and that's it. They're all between an hour and a half. Oh, the ship is an hour and 48 minutes. You can see this pterosaur. Okay. All right, and print. Let's take this little bit of filament out of there. Now, it has automatic bed leveling. I assume it's going to do that now. Yep. Okay, the nozzle's heating back up. And we're almost there. Oh, there we go. Okay, the print has started. Alright, so we'll take a look at it when it's done. Okay, we're just about finished. Okay, we're done. That took 1 hour and 18 minutes, even though it said it would be 1 hour and 17. Pretty close. Okay, we're presenting forward. And we're done. Let's get this out. That is a flex plate, though there's not a lot of flex to it. Let's see if we can get this off. It's probably better once it's cooled down. Okay. Can we get you off of the raft? There. There we go. Little flexible dinosaur. That's a lot of fun. Okay, so now let's go and try some different materials and print a whole lot of things. Okay, so I've been printing a bunch of different things, as you can see, using a bunch of different filaments. But suppose you want to print something that's in a different kind of filament. Well, that's where today's sponsor, PCBWay, comes in. They're mainly known for making circuit boards, PCBs, printed circuit boards. But they can also do 3D printing for you. And they can do all kinds of different materials, whether it be filament like this with all different colors or multicolor. They can even do full color. Or they can print in resin or in even metal, different types of metal. And all you have to do is upload your model to them, pick what you want, and they'll print it and ship it to you. So be sure to check out PCBWay.com, or I'll have a link down in the description below. Okay, so let's talk about these prints. First one, yeah, you already saw, this is the little pterodactyl or whatever it is, flying dinosaur. Flexy, it's really cool and bendy, and that was really fun. That came on the SD card, and that was of course done with the filament that came with the machine. Set that away. Okay. Next things I printed were a little frog. It was also very cute. And you see that was printed with this Polymaker. I think this is actually Polysonic blue. Yeah, it's Polysonic blue. It's actually intended for faster printers. Okay, and next the one that said ship is, of course, a Benchy. It came out pretty well. It's got kind of a weird mark in the front, the bow. But otherwise, it came out really well. There's no stringing on it at all. I haven't measured it or anything, but it looks very nice. And that was printed in this Polymaker Polyterra, part of their Seasons collection. This is winter. And so next up, I went for, I was looking in their app. It does have Wi-Fi, and it connects to their app, and you can browse a ton of free models. And I noticed when I clicked on them, they each had different printers that were available. And of course, many of them would say the Tina2S. And so I clicked on a bust of Dr. Strange, and it said Tina2S. So I went to print it, and it gave an error saying it was too big for the build plate. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but I forgot about that one, and I clicked on a bus of Thanos instead. And that one printed out just fine. And it looks really good. It's very good detail. And this is printed in my current favorite filament. This is Polymaker's Starlight Comet, it's called. And it's really cool. It looks different from different angles, like purple and green, kind of silvery. It's really cool filament. I'm going to put him right in front. So then I was trying out their slicer. And their slicer is, it's very easy to use, but it's also quite basic. Like, it'll do what you really need it to do, but if you want all the extra features and stuff, you won't find them in there. So I went on printables, and I was looking for things to print on there, and I found this tennis ball. And this one was printed in some Sunlu yellow filament. And I think it came out pretty good. There's a couple of lines on there. I did have to support it with supports underneath it. One thing about their slicer that's nice is you can paint supports on wherever you want. But yeah, this came out really well. I had only supports on the bottom, nothing on the top, and it came out perfectly. Then I was looking at the latest version of Cura, and I realized that this machine is listed in there. So you can add this machine to Cura, I think it's 5.8, and I found this cool canister with a lid. And this is about the biggest thing that I could fit in this printer. I did have to scale this down a little bit to about 80%, but I was able to print the canister and then do a separate print for the lid. And this took about 12 hours, plus another, I think, 3 hours for the lid. So Yeah, it's not a fast printer. In fact, let me see, I have a list here of some pros and cons. Okay, let's start with the pros. Pro, it's really cute. It's it was really funny actually watching it print and just watching everything I'm used to seeing on a bigger printer, except it's in miniature. It does have lots of features such as the auto bed leveling and the heated bed and the Wi-Fi. I would not expect something like that from a small printer like this. I also wrote down that I think this would be good for teens, maybe not smaller kids, because there is no front on the front or the back. The small fingers can get caught inside the moving parts or get burned by the very hot parts. So for older kids, like teenagers, I think this would be great. It's really fun and it looks nice. You can keep it in a bedroom. It's also not very loud. I wrote down that it's very easy to use, including the software, the slicer that it comes with is very easy to use. And I mentioned that it works with Cura, and it has Wi-Fi with the app. Another pro is the price. At least right now on Amazon is $179, which is really cheap. Okay, a few cons. As I mentioned, it is very slow. Like I said, that canister took like 12 hours. Some things like this took like 3 or 4 hours. One other thing I don't like is the power switch being on the cord here. Right now it's plugged in under my table, and I was doing all my printing in front of the table. So that meant every time I wanted to turn it on or off, I had to walk all the way around here and get down underneath to switch the switch on and off. So I really would think it would be better if there was a switch on the side here, near where the power plug is. A con I mentioned was the slicer. It is very basic. However, you can use the latest Cura if you want more features. The spool holder. Again, it has this very small spool holder on here, which is great for these little ones, but who uses these? So you'll have to get, if you want to use regular size 1 kilogram spools, you'll have to get something to hold it. And conveniently, I have this holder from Sunlu that I reviewed in a previous video, and that worked out really well. There are also spool holders that you can print, and you just take bearings from a skateboard wheel, and you can buy these bearings, like a whole pack of them, for like $7 or $8. And yeah, and just print them, pop the bearings in, and it'll hold your spool. Finally, the last thing is, again, with the cord, the plug that it uses is big, and it actually takes up 2 outlets on my power strip. So I had to unplug this printer so that I would have room for this plug. Okay, so that's all my thoughts on this machine. It is, again, really cute. I just love even looking at it. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave them down below. Or any comments, please like and subscribe. I will have a link to this down in the description below. And I will see you next time.